Gentlemen, I have a series of questions that are asked of all nominees. You may respond appropriately together. Have you adhered to applicable laws and regulations governing conflicts of interest?
Yes.
Yes, Chairman.
Have you assumed any duties or taken any actions that would appear to presume the outcome of the confirmation process?
No, Chairman.
No.
Exercising our legislative and oversight responsibilities makes it important that this committee, its subcommittees, and other appropriate committees of Congress receive testimony, briefings, reports, records, and other information from the executive branch on a timely basis. Do you agree, if confirmed, to appear and testify before this committee when requested?
Yes, Chairman.
Yes.
Do you agree, when asked before this committee, to give your personal views, even if your views differ from the administration?
Yes, Chairman.
Do you agree to provide records, documents, and electronic communications in a timely manner when requested by this committee, its subcommittees, or other appropriate committees of Congress, and to consult with the requestor regarding the basis for any good faith delay or denial in providing such records?
Yes, Chairman.
Yes.
Will you ensure that your staff complies with deadlines established by this committee for the production of reports, records, and other information, including timely responding to hearing questions for the record?
Yes,
Yes.
Chairman.
Will you cooperate in providing witnesses and briefers in response to congressional requests?
Yes,
Yes.
Chairman.
Will those witnesses and briefers be protected from reprisal for the testimony or briefings?
Yes, Chairman.
Thank you, gentlemen. General Geo, you've talked about the evolving threats that are facing the homeland. Could you give us an idea of what are those most significant threats you see right now?
Yes, Chairman. The most significant threat that the Homeland faces is no longer from a single capability or a single nation, but it's the compilation of multiple actors that can threaten the Homeland from multiple avenues of approach and across all domains. So the combination of all of those simultaneously is the biggest threat that we face now, whereas in the past it may have been a single weapon system or a single actor that presented that threat.
Do you think we're appropriately postured to deal with these threats?
Yes, Chairman, I do. However, our adversaries are growing at a very fast rate, and we need to do, across the whole of government, all of our effort must be to keeping pace with the rate of change of our adversary.
Do you have any specific changes in mind, if confirmed, of what you'd like to do for, say, your first 180 days?
Chairman, if confirmed, I will largely follow the outstanding course that's been set by General Van Herk, focusing on defending the homeland. And in the first few days, as you mentioned, my goal to make sure that there are no gaps in the transition of authorities that the commander must take to defend the homeland. And I'd also like to strengthen the network. Everything that we do in NORAD and NORTHCOM requires partnership, and I'd like to strengthen the networks with other combatant commanders, the services, National Guard, the interagency, international partners, and of course Congress to make sure that all those relationships are set now in steady state so we can easily enact those in times of crisis. And then I will conduct a 90-day assessment of our people, our mission, and our resourcing to ensure that we're set for the changing environment that we see ahead.
Thank you. General Whiting, what is your assessment of the threats to the United States and allied space assets by Russia and China over the next 5 years, and what must we do to counter those threats?
Thank you for that question, Chairman. Certainly, we have seen a rapid increase, particularly from China, as they've built counter space capabilities after really studying the United States and how we leverage space for military advantage. And so they have sought to build a series of capabilities from non-destructive to destructive to hold at risk those space capabilities. We've seen Russia do that to a lesser degree as well. And Mr. Chairman, it is our responsibility across the national security space enterprise, but certainly if confirmed at U.S. Space Command, to make sure that we can operate in the face of those threats that we now see, to continue to support the rest of the joint force with the space capabilities that they've become dependent upon.
Thank you. We are developing the technologies, and one of the key is continuous encrypted communication. Can you give us a sense of where do you think we are in that process?
Yes, sir. It is vital that we have the capability to encrypt ourselves with encryption that will last over decades as we field military space systems that last for a long time. We want to make sure that that encryption does not become compromised by other countries potentially. And so it's a very important partnership, Mr. Chairman, that we have with the National Security Agency. And if confirmed, I would ensure that we continue to work requirements that laid into those requirement sets that requirement so that we don't end up in a position where another country could compromise our communications.
Thank you. General Guillot, the issue of fentanyl crossing the Mexican border is one that's a serious crisis in the United States today. You are already, your command is in communication and cooperation with Mexican authorities, the Mexican Army, Mexican Navy. How do you believe you can leverage those military forces to be more effective in disrupting this trade in fentanyl?
Chairman, the drug threat that you mentioned is acute, it's significant, and it's serious. And NORTHCOM's role is, as part of a whole-of-government effort, NORTHCOM provides direct support to the lead law enforcement agency to attack these networks. If I'm confirmed, due to the importance of this mission, as soon as possible after the change of command, I will go down to the southern border and meet with all of not only the U.S. military that are in support of the lead law enforcement agencies, but also with the interagency, the intel community, and the Mexican military partners that we have. During that time, I'll make an effort to gain a greater operational understanding, and then I will draw an assessment on how we can optimize our support to get after this very serious problem.